welcome today to Word Alive. This is going to be a very special program, as today we are encouraging you to get behind one of the great ministries here in our city, and that is the Lord's Kitchen. We want to encourage you today to help us be able to reach out in this holiday season to more people than we've ever reached out to before. You know, it's in this season of the year, around the holidays of Thanksgiving and Christmas, that we come together as a community and we raise funds, we call for volunteers, we get people together to help minister to hundreds, literally hundreds of families. And in just a little bit, we'll be talking to the executive director of the Lord's Kitchen, and we'll get a little more idea of just how many families we're reaching out to and what the goal is. But today we want to encourage you to get behind this effort. This is an opportunity to pour directly into the lives of families, men and women, boys and girls, right here in our community that desperately need help. People that are hungry, people that need this kind of support in the holiday season. You can see there on your screen, we have an opportunity for you to help provide a food box for $30 or a coat for $20. And so we appreciate you getting behind this effort, and we have our prayer partners available to take calls for pledges today. And so we encourage you to get on your phone and get behind what's happening at the Lord's Kitchen. You know, this year we celebrate 25 years of ministry at the Lord's Kitchen. The Lord's Kitchen opened on December 25th, Christmas Day, 1988, and the doors have never closed since. It has only continued to expand and grow, and the outreach is greater than ever before. And I think most of you know that over the last several years, our city, our state, and our nation for sure have suffered through an economic downturn, and we are seeing some signs of things coming back, but it's not affected those who are in greatest need. They're not yet seeing the recovery in their own lives as we'd like for them to see. And so we're calling upon you, if the Lord has blessed you and helped you, to share and to be a blessing to a family in need in this holiday season. Again, the Lord's Kitchen is reaching out in November and December, and we want you to be a part of it. So join us right now. Go to your phone, dial that number, 962-9650. 962-9650. We have folks there ready to take your calls. If you're outside of our local calling area, you can call us at 888-613-6080. We'd love to hear from you today, and let's make a difference. This is an opportunity for us to make a difference in the lives of families right here in our community. You can be a blessing, and this is going to go directly into their lives to make a difference for them in this holiday season. And so we appreciate your help. We're going to be finding out all the details here in just a few moments, but I'd like to check in. We have Brittany with us today. Brittany is there at the phones with our partners, and so we're going to check in there and give you an opportunity to start calling right now.
Thank you, Pastor Kevin. As he was saying, this is the season where most people are trying to figure out ways to give. And so if you can call in your order, for $30, you can give a food box to a family for a Thanksgiving meal. And for $20, you can give coats to families. And it gets really cold here. So you need to go ahead and call in right now. Let this be your area of giving if you're looking for one. And we're going to come back in a moment.
Oh, come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel, that mourns in lonely exile here, until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Oh, come thou rod of Jesse, free thine own from Satan's tyranny. away the shades of night and pierce the clouds and bring us light. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel should come to thee, O Israel. Oh, come thou Key of David, come and open wide our heavenly home, where all thy saints with thee shall dwell. Oh, come, Emmanuel. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel should come to thee, O Israel. Should come to thee, O Israel.
Call now, and with your one-time gift, the Lord's Kitchen will be able to feed a family for a week, or supply a new coat to a child that is in desperate need of one, or give Christmas gifts to children this year that otherwise would have no Christmas. See, that's what your dollars do immediately. All money stays in the Kentuckiana area to help hurting families this Christmas season. Call now, the number on the screen, and make a decision to make a difference this Christmas.
Lay the world in sin and error pining till he appeared and the soul felt its worth.
And we welcome you back. Again, we appreciate your calls right now. If you'd like to get behind this effort in the holiday season, the Lord's Kitchen is doing an incredible work. By the way, if you'd like to make a check out for your contribution, you can make it directly to the Lord's Kitchen. All these funds will go directly to them. When you call and speak with our partners today, they'll share with you the address to mail it if you want to do it that way. If you prefer to do it by bank card, they can take that information and you'll be able to get your donation in right away. And it'll be faster, in fact, if you're able to do it that way. But either way would be appreciated, and we thank you so much. This morning, it's a pleasure to have with me on the broadcast the Executive Director of the Lord's Kitchen, and that's Pastor Rex Chesser. Welcome to Word Alive.
It's good to be here, Pastor Kevin. Thank you.
I know this holiday season is a very busy time for you.
It certainly is, but it's a great time to be in service for the Lord and for the people here.
Well, on the program today, we want to talk about some of the different aspects of the outreach and what's going on. One of the things that we've already highlighted is the fact that, especially in the December giveaway, we provide coats and help families to have coats and to be able to keep warm during the winter months. And we can have some pretty cold winters at times.
Absolutely. Yes, we have hundreds of children that need coats that we've signed up this year. Back in the summer, we were able to feed 36,000 children. So the need is great. It's a huge need out there. So this is a great opportunity to impact our city, share the love of Jesus, extend this great offer of brand new coats. They deserve the best, and so we just appreciate what everyone and anyone that can help us in this endeavor for the Lord.
Now, you have already, this is not a guessing game. You already have people that have signed up.
Absolutely.
And so you know what we need, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, we have children under 13 that have already been signed up. We will be bringing in over 600 families that will be taken care of. We're not able at this time to take care of all the families' children, but we're trying to take care of at least 2 children per family. So, that could push us to 500 to 1,000, depending on, how many families have children.
Right. And that's where we're asking for you to help today. Now, one of the things that you're noticing is that we're actually raising money to be able to purchase coats, because you're able to get some better deals when you
Yes,
buy
that's
in bulk.
correct.
Is that right?
That's right. We have great opportunities to buy the brand new coats, get a low price, be able to touch the people in our community, and be able to change their lives. So if you can get involved in this part, we have this option to be able to get the prices at a reduced price. And so, families today, their funds are very tight, and it's one of the top needs that parents, single family parents need. So this will be a tremendous help to them.
We'll be talking more about food in a few moments, but of course, one of the most basic of needs in the winter months is the ability to stay warm. And when you're talking about children that are sometimes out at bus stops and walking back and forth to school, and just being outdoors, just for a little relief from being indoors all the time, the coat is extremely important. And so this is an opportunity for you to help make a difference. And we're encouraging you today to make a pledge and send a contribution in of $20 per coat. We hope that we can get a better price and maybe be able to buy more coats, but you're going to be able to help us with that. So we appreciate you calling. Right now the numbers are on your screen: 962-9650, 888-613-6080. And if you were able to give by bank card, that donation will go in much faster, but we do appreciate checks made to the Lord's Kitchen. Right now we want to take you back to one of the previous coat giveaways with Pastor Bob and Margaret. So let's take a look at that now.
I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas from down here at the City of Hope. And as you can see behind us, there's so many people that have come here to get a coat and get a food basket. The fact is, one lady was outside at 5 a.m. this morning. She said, I just need to get here early because I didn't want to get left out.
I was just talking with some of the folks that have already picked up. Many of the people behind us are in line waiting because there's a process. But I was talking to some of them that were on their way to their car, on their way to their house, and they were so appreciative. They were just smiles and just saying, thank you for being there for us this year. We needed that extra help. And that one family that I was talking to, they said, our kids are going to have Christmas this year. And they were just so blessed. And, it just touches your heart to know that this is a place that's reaching into not just to bring coats, not just to bring food, but to touch the hearts of people where they're hurting and where they have the greatest need. I'm glad we're a part of it, and I'm glad you are too.
Margaret, before we began, I talked with everyone and I prayed with them the sinner's prayer. And I could really sense the wonderful presence of God. And without your support, without giving, we could have never done this. But from all these folks, they're wishing you a very Merry Christmas too.
But he's still a hero to his family. And he has faith and knows that God will give them just what they need. 'Cause hope has found a way tonight. He's broke, but he's not broken. He believes in Christmas, and he's not the only one who keeps on wishing for that peace on earth to come. So hold him close and let him know your love will see him through. 'Cause he believes in Christmas. He believes in you. Yeah. Well, I've been waiting for this all year. It reminds me I can always find your hope here. 'Cause I believe in Christmas, and I'm not the only one who keeps on wishing for that peace on earth to come. So hold me close and let me know that your love will see me through. 'Cause I believe in Christmas. I believe in you.
Talking today to Pastor Rex Chesser. He's the executive director of the Lord's Kitchen and doing an incredible work there, because the kitchen, as you know, has expanded from 25 years ago. It started at 5th and M and continues to operate there to this very day. That's just a couple blocks or so north of Churchill Downs. It sits between Churchill Downs and the University of Louisville. And then has expanded now to our location over on Standard Avenue at Dixie and Standard. The Lord's Kitchen is operating there as well. And Rex, tell us a little bit about the need that you're seeing. You're right there, where it's happening. What are you seeing in our community right now?
Well, right now, this year, we've seen an increase in the numbers of people that are needing food, needing hot meals. It has jumped probably throughout the year at least 20%. But just in the recent months, we have seen our numbers go up some days at 30, 40%. And a lot of times the first of the month, our numbers are lower because they receive their funds. But the last few months has been really unbelievable how they've almost matched the end of the month. So, it's not just families who have no income. It's the homeless, it's elderly, it's single family parents, people who do have limited income. So we're touching just a wide variety, a wide range. So it's really amazing the need that is there in both of our kitchens.
I think it's important for our audience to understand something. One of the great areas of need today is in a group of people that are often referred to as the working poor. They're people that have jobs, they do work, or at least one spouse works and another might be on disability, as I'll tell you a little story in just a moment. And it's not that they're not giving it their best. They're doing their best. They're working hard. They're doing what they can, but the income is not sufficient to be able to meet all the basic needs that they have. And when I say basic needs, I'm talking about a home to live in. I'm talking about electricity and gas for heat. I'm talking about water, your water bill, and then your food costs and expenses. And so the Lord's Kitchen has always played, these 25 years, a great role in helping not only those who are absolutely homeless, but helping to prevent many others from being homeless by making up the gap and providing food so that they could take that money that they would have to spend on groceries to survive and put it toward a rent payment or put it toward an electric bill. And so you're helping to make a difference in people's lives right here in our own community. Now, it's not to say that there aren't the homeless. We definitely minister to the homeless. The Lord's Kitchen does. I read something very interesting just earlier that I wanted to share. There was a survey done, and it suggested, this was in Business First a number of years ago, and it suggested that the typical working homeless family, now this is a family where they have jobs, but they're having to utilize shelters or they don't have a place of their own. The average homeless working family needs 120% of what they're earning in order to meet basic needs. Well, nobody makes 120%. That's the point.
Absolutely.
There's a shortfall,
Yes.
and it's not quite enough. And that's where the Lord's Kitchen is really helping to make a difference. Does that sound like what you're seeing on a regular basis?
It sure does. You know, just to back up some of your numbers, 1 in 6 in our community alone is considered on the verge of going into hunger. Some communities, it's 1 in 5. Some different culture areas is 1 in 4. So the need is escalating, and it's, as you said, you know, costs just continue to go up. Our expenses continue to rise. And so, yes, you're exactly right. It's because of the people in our community and the corporations and very ones coming together to make an impact in the city that we've been able to not miss a meal, that we've been able to continue to provide that is needed to touch these lives.
And you know, speaking about the Lord's Kitchen, and Rex and I have not had an opportunity to really talk about this, but I can just tell you from personal experience in our own home, we've seen the increase in grocery costs. We've seen how it has escalated over the last few years. Well, the Lord's Kitchen faces that too as they try to reach out and to help be a blessing. Obviously, there are donations, and we've been blessed to have some folks get behind the effort and really help make a difference. You know, the University of Louisville men's soccer team through the years have been such a blessing, and the same this year to raise thousands of canned goods. But you know, there's still a need in the holiday season for particular items and special things and so forth. And those expenses, they have to be paid somehow. And it's going to happen when people just like you know, if a whole lot of us do a little bit, it's going to make the burden lighter, and it's going to make it possible. And we're going to see the miracle happen that we need right here in Louisville to help bless some families. So I want to encourage you to get on your phone, call that number right now, 962-9650, or call the toll-free number, 888-613-6080, and help make a difference in someone's life this holiday season. You can be a great blessing. If you want to buy a coat for a child, you want to be a blessing to them, then call and make that pledge. Again, you can send a check. They'll give you the address where to mail it. It's P.O. Box 19229, Louisville 40259. You can mail it in, or you can do it over a bank card right there on the phone. And of course, the funds will go into the Lord's Kitchen much faster that way, but we appreciate gifts either way that you can be a blessing and help the Lord's Kitchen. So today on Word Alive, we want to be a blessing here to encourage the Lord's Kitchen in this holiday season and all the great work that goes on there, and you can help make a difference as well. We're going to check in at the phones with Brittany and see how things are going there. Give us a call.
Thank you, Pastor Kevin. We want to thank Eileen from Georgetown. She sent in a gift of $50. Thank you so much for that gift. And then we also got a call from Ellen and Jay. They also are sending in a gift of $50. $50 will get us a coat and a food box. So you could meet the need of a family for their food expenses and give a coat to one of the parents or the kids. $50. That's really not a whole lot. You know, this season is a season where you can sit there, in the holidays, you can sit there and you can go, you know, all of my expenses are tight. I don't have a lot to give. But I can guarantee you, if you just find the time and you find the resources and you give the cost of money and you give, there's nothing greater than the feeling that you have of being able to contribute to someone who wouldn't be able to give. And so we encourage you right now, just send $30 for a food box, $20 for a coat. $50 really isn't that big of a deal once you think of what it all entails. We're going to go to our announcer now for some more details.
Call now. And with your one-time gift, the Lord's Kitchen will be able to feed a family for a week, or supply a new coat to a child that is in desperate need of one, or give Christmas gifts to children this year that otherwise would have no Christmas. See, that's what your dollars do immediately. All money stays in the Kentuckiana area to help hurting families this Christmas season. Call now, the number on the screen, and make a decision to make a difference this Christmas.
Till he appeared and the
I saw a video. I saw a video earlier of a lady. I'll just call her Mary, and it was a documentary of someone right here in Louisville, to be considered to living in a very depressed neighborhood, limited income. Her husband was on disability. She had 3 teenage children, and she had a grocery budget for the month of $200. How far do you think $200 is going to go? In the story, Mary talked about some of the needs and the difficulties that she faces, and I'll give Mary credit. She was very positive concerning her very difficult situation, and she took this camera crew through the grocery store and showed how she would make decisions about the things that she could buy or not buy. And she would talk about how she herself, as the month progressed, would go down to just eating 1 meal a day in order to make sure that her children had enough to eat. And we sometimes, especially if you're blessed and you've been able to see your needs met and so forth, you think, well, I can't hardly believe people have to go through that, but it's happening right here in our community. That was a story from right here in Louisville. And it's the Lord's Kitchen, along with others. We know there are other organizations as well, but we're talking about what the Lord's Kitchen's doing. The Lord's Kitchen's helping to make a difference in hundreds of lives. In this holiday season, already there are hundreds of families that have signed up. It's already, that part is done. It's not even a question. Rex, you know how many you have to prepare for, don't you?
Yes, right now it's over 1,200 that we are going to be preparing for. And, this is just part of breaking the cycle of need here in our city, and we're a part of that. Shelter, heat, food, and so we're being a part of that process. We were talking about children. In our city alone, 11,000 children are homeless. And so it's amazing to think of those kind of numbers. But the great thing is that as we give and as we take part in this process, we are helping people that sometimes they're in a situation that they just need a few days, or they just need that meal or those coats to get them through. And then we've heard great testimonies of how God divinely turned around their life. And so God is using us to plant that seed and do a great work and see lives changed.
One of the things that the Lord's Kitchen does in the holiday season is provides a wonderful food box. And you can see there on your screen, $30 is what we're requesting your help with a food box for a family. And of course, in the holiday season, it's always so wonderful to have turkey and to be able to be blessed with that. And Rex, how are you going to be doing that? How's that going to happen?
Well, we're providing a wonderful food box with a turkey and just everything that you would want to have at your table. We're trying to do just as much or better, if at all possible. It'll have all the things that you would need for that wonderful meal when you sit down on one of those holiday events and just enjoy a great time with their families. So we'll be putting those together. It'll be a great day of us coming together and volunteers helping us and getting all those ready. And Deuteronomy 15 talks about opening wide your hands to the poor, the needy, to your brother. And so that's what the Lord's Kitchen is doing. We want to open our hands wide, but we want to give them the best that we can.
And your donations today are going to help make a difference. If you'll call us, you can make that donation right now. If you are accustomed to using debit cards or credit cards, you can put it on there right now, give that information. They'll be able to run that, and it'll go right into the account. But you can also send in a check. You can just simply make that check to the Lord's Kitchen. It's not coming here to Word Alive. It's not going into our ministry and then being transferred out. You can make it directly to the Lord's Kitchen. We just want to be an instrument today to get the word out, to help more people in our viewing audience know how they can be a blessing and have a direct link to be a part of what's happening there. And if you'll do a gift, if you're able to give a gift of $30, that's going to help with a food box. $20 will buy a coat. And as you've heard, some folks have decided, well, I want to do both, and they give a gift of $50. however you can do it. Maybe you're saying, well, I can't really do that amount. Do what you can do. Do what you can do. But let's all make our best effort to provide a box or provide a coat. And if we'll do that together, if we'll unite, I believe we'll be able to see the needs met and beyond. There really is not a limit. They've had to have a period of time where people have signed up. They know exactly how many people that need to be ministered to, have committed to, but you know, there's a lot more that we could help if we see that kind of an abundance come in. So go to your phone, dial those numbers locally, 962-9650, toll free, 888-613-6080. We haven't mentioned, but you can also go to the Lord's Kitchen website. It's called thelordskitchen.com. You have to put that all in there, thelordskitchen.com. It all runs together like you see on the screen. And if you're not able to give right now during the broadcast, you can always go to the website and make a donation there as well. We're going to check in at the phones. Brittany is there, and we want to encourage you to give us a call. We want to hear from you, and we'd love for you to get involved and be a part of what's happening here today. I know our viewing audience is a compassionate, giving audience. You've been such a blessing in so many ways, and we're just asking you to help in this most basic area of need in people's lives right here in our community. Brittany?
Thank you, Pastor Kevin. We have been getting phone calls nonstop from people willing to give with their debit cards on the phone, but also mailing in payments. Thank you so much for your calls. Continue to call, continue to give. Like Pastor Kevin said, we will accept any amount, but we're really hoping that you can find a way to sacrifice and to give at least $20 for a coat, $30 for a box, but $50 for both. You know, Jan called from New Washington and she gave $50. Thank you so much, Jan, for your contribution and your donation. Continue to call. Our phone lines are ringing nonstop. We are encouraging you to find a way to sacrifice and to give this holiday season to a family in need. Pastor Kevin?
Thank you, Brittany. We've been talking about the turkeys that are given as a part of the food boxes, and we want to take you to one of the great times that we've shared in previous years, and we're looking forward to it happening again this year in our holiday season. So watch this and you'll see a little bit more of what we're talking about.
Call now, and with your one-time gift, the Lord's Kitchen will be able to feed a family for a week, or supply a new coat to a child that is in desperate need of one, or give Christmas gifts to children this year that otherwise would have no Christmas. See, that's what your dollars do immediately. All money stays in the Kentuckiana area to help hurting families this Christmas season. Call now, the number on the screen, and make a decision to make a difference this Christmas.
Wherever you are, no matter how far, come back to the heart of Christmas.
It's the season of blessings here on Word Alive.
Thank you for tuning in. This is our giveaway for the holiday season for the Lord's Kitchen. As Pastor Kevin's been talking about the whole program, we're giving away food boxes for $30 and coats for $20. You can do both for $50, and we will accept any donation. We're just asking you to give your best if you're not able to do any of those specified amounts. The telephones have been ringing off the hook. Thank you so much for giving. Carrie, we thank you so much for your $20 donation. You're going to help give a coat away to a young child this season. Pastor Kevin?
All right, thank you, Brittany. Again, we're talking about people in our community that have a great need. We minister to many who are homeless, but homelessness is not always exactly what you think it is. It's not always that they necessarily live on the street. It may be families that have had to combine and they have overcrowding in their homes and they're doing things just to make a way, but the finances are just slim to none. Other situations are what we referred to earlier as the working poor. That's been a term that's been used in numerous articles and in news stories and so forth regarding people in need. I was looking through some information and came across a story, for example, of a family where the wife has been a waitress since 1986. In 1986, she started making $2.11 an hour plus tips. You know, in the food industry, they are able to pay less than minimum wage because of tips, and so that was her base plus tips. 20 years later and 3 children later, she now makes $2.13 an hour. Now this story would have been in 2006, and so just it gives you an idea of how difficult it can be. Her husband also works in the food industry and in pizza deliveries and so forth, and makes $5.50 an hour at that time, and this was at the time of the story, which was probably 5 years ago, and makes that plus tips. So when you consider how much you spend on groceries, gasoline, and the basic needs of electricity, gas for heating your home, and those certain things, the rent or the house payment, and the water bill, you know, and you just hear in the news this week, water bills are going up, and, you know, it's only just so many cents a month per family, but when you're barely scraping by, every penny counts. And that's where the Lord's Kitchen can really help and is helping to make a difference. And Rex, you mentioned earlier, you're really seeing an increase right now in the number of people coming to the daily meals. Is that correct?
Yes, in both of our kitchens, the numbers have increased. Our lunches, sometimes they'll drop at certain times of the month, but they're steady now. A lot of people are coming in wondering if they can get extra food, and so we're trying to do what we can in that avenue. We're actually going to be expanding some of the vision where we can offer food in addition to hot meals. But our breakfast, our lunch, our suppers, all of the meals have just increased. It's taking more money for us, more volunteers, and you know, you were sharing, we've had children where we went into areas to feed and they ask us, when will you be back? Sometimes they take the food that we've given them and they store it up for the weekend, so they'll have something for the rest of their family on the weekend. So, you know, it's unusual stories that you just can't hardly believe. You were sharing about making choices, you know, if they have electric bill, they have utilities, they have rent. A lot of times they have to make these choices, and many times it's the food, the medicine, the things for the children that are in jeopardy, and they have to make tough choices. We're actually helping a segment of people in nursing homes this year because we're trying to reach every segment of the population, and they don't have anyone to bring them food at these holiday times. So you're a part of doing a great work to touch lives across the community.
Amen. Give us a call, 962-9650 or 888-613-6080. Let's check in with Brittany.
Thank you, Pastor Kevin. The phones, like I said before, have been ringing off the hook with people willing to give. We thank you so much for your giving. Earlier, we had a call from Brenda, and she gave enough for 3 coats. That was a $60 donation. Thank you so much, Brenda. And then Judy also gave a coat donation. We appreciate everything that you're doing to give. You know, it's just $30 for a basket, and it's not a basket that just feeds one meal. It's a basket that's actually going to provide a few meals. Thank you. For some families for a couple of days. So I want you to think about that. $30 for a couple of days of food. That's a big deal. $20 for coats. That's really not that much when you think about it. So, and again, you can give any donation, but we're really asking if you can find a way to give $30 for a basket and $20 for a coat. We would greatly appreciate it. Back to you, Pastor Kevin.
All right. We do encourage your calls right now. You can make your checks, if you're writing checks, to the Lord's Kitchen directly. It goes directly to them. They'll tell you the address to mail it to there. If you don't get it from our partners, it's P.O. Box 19229, Louisville, Kentucky 40259. That's our church P.O. Box number, but you're going to make the check to the Lord's Kitchen, and then we're going to send it directly over to their office. It'll be there for them to deposit. And I want you to know, if you're able to do it by bank card, you can get that money in right away. And we appreciate your donations and helping to make a difference. And so in this holiday season, we're not talking about one outreach, we're talking about 2 that are very, very important. And you can give a food box for $30, or you can give a coat for $20. Of course, any amount is appreciated and will help make a difference in our community. And Rex, we appreciate everything that you're doing and the Lord's Kitchen is doing, and we encourage folks to get out and be there with you to help and volunteer. I'm sure you'd always welcome volunteers as well.
We certainly would. It would be a tremendous blessing. It's amazing when people come together, work together, how that God will bless what they're doing, and have an opportunity to touch lives and see what God is going to do in them and through them.
Well, just before we shift gears, I do want to mention the Lord's Kitchen has 2 locations. 5th and M was the original location that started 25 years ago on Christmas Day. And it's a wonderful anniversary to celebrate for the Lord's Kitchen this year. They have been reaching out ever since. The doors have never closed. And so it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to continue. I remember very quickly one time it was desperately in need of some renovation and new flooring in the kitchen. And we started, a bunch of us joined together that volunteered. I happened to be with that crew. And we came in and started working immediately after the meal was served at noon, stripping out the floor, moving everything around, coming back. And we weren't quite finished by the next day at noon. And so to make sure we fed that day, we brought in pizzas. And that way, no day has ever been missed.
Absolutely.
And it's been a wonderful thing. And now also over on 18th and Dixie. Excuse me, well, Dixie is 18th. Standard and Dixie,
yes,
there at the City of Hope. And that is, by the way, I wanted to clarify, that's where these holiday outreaches will take place.
That's right. That's at our Lord's Kitchen at the City of Hope property. We have our church there. The Lord's Kitchen is in the building located beside it. And so during our holiday events, it will be there at the City of Hope, there at the Lord's Kitchen at the City of Hope location.
All right. Again, that's on Standard Avenue at Dixie Highway. So you can come out and volunteer and be a part of what's happening as well. If you'd like more information, you can call us. You can call the church number or directly to the Lord's Kitchen, 964-3304, and it's extension 1250. Is that correct?
That's
extension
correct.
1250. Or just press 0 on the receptionist will help you get connected. We're going to check in once again with Brittany as we move forward toward the final part of our broadcast.
Thank you, Pastor Kevin. You know, a common theme that we've been talking about is how the economy is tight for everybody, and especially during the holiday season, we experience what we call like a tightness in your wallets. And so we're just asking you to go ahead and just find those pennies, find those dollars in there, and give us the amount that you're feeling is generous. We're asking for $30 for a basket, $20 for a coat. We've had calls nonstop for people willing to give $50 and $60 just to go above and beyond the need that we're asking for. So we appreciate everything that you can give. We're asking for you to give your best offer, but if you can find a way to give $30 for a basket and $20 for a coat, we would really appreciate it. We'll be back right after this.
Call now, and with your one-time gift, the Lord's Kitchen will be able to feed a family for a week, or supply a new coat to a child that is in desperate need of one, or give Christmas gifts to children this year that otherwise would have no Christmas. See, that's what your dollars do immediately. All money stays in the Kentuckiana area to help hurting families this Christmas season. Call now, the number on the screen, and make a decision to make a difference this Christmas.
Lay the world in sin and error pining till he appeared and the soul felt its worth.
Wherever you are, no matter how far, come back to the heart of Christmas.
It's the season of blessings here on Word Alive. Join Pastors Bob and Margaret Rogers on Thanksgiving morning for a 1-hour prayer and Thanksgiving service at the Billtown Road campus at 7 a.m. This annual tradition is a great way for your family to start the Thanksgiving holiday. Don't miss Cooking Thanksgiving Live this Wednesday, live from the Lord's Kitchen. Join host Kevin McKnight and Michelle Perry as they cook live from the Lord's Kitchen with some of Louisville's top chefs. Plus, they'll teach you to prepare one of their favorite dishes for Thanksgiving. It's all live on Word Alive this Wednesday at 9 a.m. as we celebrate the season of blessings.
There are some times that there are things in your life that you just got to take the sword of the Spirit. You got to take the word and you got to chop that thing out of your life. Jesus said, if your hand causes you to sin, let a sound arise, oh God, out of this place. Let destiny be born.
All right, well, we're near the end of our broadcast, and we want to encourage you to call for prayer. If you'd like a prayer partner to pray with you, you can call us at 962-9650. I know the phones have been pretty busy today, Brittany.
Yes, absolutely.
And, we want people to be able to call and get your prayer request in. Now, tonight starts a revival meeting with Nathan Morris. And those have been some powerful services in the past.
Absolutely. You know, especially with our youth have thoroughly enjoyed hearing him. He is a powerful speaker. We encourage you to come out tonight at 7 o'clock. He's also going to be here at Miners tomorrow night at 7, and then Saturday night at 6, and I believe Sunday night at 5?
At 5.
At 5. So you have multiple opportunities throughout the week, the rest of this week and the weekend, to come and see him, and I highly recommend making time to come out there.
Your life really will not be the same. And we are doing something a little different this time, so please listen very carefully. Tonight and tomorrow night, it is at our Miners Lane campus. 7 o'clock both of those nights. And like Brittany mentioned, on Saturday at 6, Sunday at 5, but that's at Billtown. So try not to get confused. If we have confused you, go to our website and look at the information. Again, tonight and tomorrow night, Thursday and Friday at our Miners Lane campus. And then Saturday and Sunday will be out at our Billtown Road campus. So it's an opportunity, maybe for some of you that normally don't travel to Billtown, you have an opportunity to come and be in the services here at our Miners Lane campus. So that would be good.
Yes.
And that's where our youth meet on a regular basis here on Thursday nights.
Yes. We are called The Venue, and it's for middle school to high school students, and we meet every Thursday here. We have a building, and you can't miss it. When you're driving into Miners Lane, you'll see the big sign on the right, and it's called The Venue. We meet at 7 o'clock every Thursday.
All right. They're going to come over tonight and be in the service with
Oh,
Nathan.
yes.
And it's
all
going to be
of us will be there.
a great time. Well, again, you can call us for prayer. Today we're going to go out of the broadcast just giving you a little bit of the ministry of Nathan Morris, but please feel free to call and let these partners pray with you, and let's believe God together for the miracle that you need in your life. We want to hear from you. We appreciate you so very much. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow. We're going to have a great broadcast. In fact, we're starting early tomorrow. We're starting at 8:30 a.m. So tune in early tomorrow, and it's a special opportunity to help rebuild the Philippines. You're going to be a part of it. So we'll look forward to seeing you then as well. All right, let's take this opportunity now, Brittany, to share some of the ministry of Nathan Morris.
Families are falling apart because the values of marriage no longer mean anything. Divorce in America is an epidemic. Single parents are becoming the norm. And we wonder why our sons are running the streets in rebellion. Society says to our teenagers, it's normal to experiment. Have sex before marriage. Just use protection. The answer? Let's teach our children how to have sex just earlier in their years. But let's teach them how to do it safely. I want to tell you, America, you social studying people that say we're supposed to tell our children about sex when they're in kindergarten. Listen to me. The boundary of the Word of God says no fornication. Get married. It is a covenant. And until then, that is a boundary. That is a separation we are not supposed to cross. The Bible says in Jude, beloved, while I was very diligent to write to you concerning our common salvation, I found it necessary to write to you, exhorting you to contend earnestly for the faith which was once delivered to all the saints. I ain't gonna sell out. I have preachers telling me, Nathan, all the miracles, it can get you into trouble. I had a preacher call me one time. He said, Nathan, it's awesome what God is doing in your ministry. He said, some of the miracles that I'm seeing, I have not witnessed for many, many years. But he said, listen to me, son. He said, when you call all these people out and those cameras are on you, it could get you into a lot of trouble. What if they don't get healed? I listened and I put the phone down. I wasn't going to argue. But I felt the Spirit of God say to me, don't you back down. Amen. You see, it's not about my reputation. It's not about whether I'm on television. It's about obeying the Great Commission. Lay hands upon the sick and they shall be made well. I ain't selling out. My God is a healer. He is the God that heals all our disease. He opens the eyes of the blind. He opens the ears of the deaf. I ain't gonna sell out. I ain't selling out. I ain't gonna preach a gospel that you can be saved and live how you want. I ain't selling out. My inheritance is not for sale. I said my inheritance is not for sale. You can have your programs. I'm not fighting against you. But I have an inheritance of revival. And that's what I'm believing for. I'm believing for revival. I believe in the Holy Ghost. I believe in the fire of God. I'm not ashamed of the fire of the Holy. There are people in here tonight, and you know you sold it out years ago. See, my friend, what you don't realize is this. You give an inch, you're already taken out. You give him a yard, you might as well call yourself finished. You can't give the devil an inch. You can't sell out the landmarks in your life. That's why some of you need the fire of God to fall on you again. When the fire falls on you, there's something about the fire of God that starts to clear the paving. It starts to clear away the dross. It starts to show you the landmarks that are in your life, the lines of separation that make you holy and different. Is there anybody here that is called tonight? I said, is there anybody here with the call of God on their lives? I want to tell you that there's coming a time where the spirit of this age is going to come. He's coming knocking on your door. He wants you to sell out. He wants you to give up. I go to churches. I travel the world. I go to churches that were in revival, and now all they do is talk about those years, because today they are dead. Amen. They're dead, full of dead men's bones. Come here. See, God puts His fire on your life, that there's a hem around you, that whoever comes into contact with you,
Word Alive is a production of Bob Rogers Ministries in Louisville, Kentucky. For more information on the outreach of this ministry or to become a partner, visit bobrogersministries.org. And remember to like us on Facebook, and Ustream, just search TV Word Alive.